New year, let's talk about anime of the year. 2021 has been an amazing year for anime. There's so many sequels that came out. The final season, part 1 of Attack on Titan came out. Zombieland Saga had a season 2. Dr. Stone had a season 2. Megalobox had an amazing season 2. Evangelion finally had the finishing movie to end off such an amazing franchise. Kyoto Animation came back with Dragon Maid Season 2 just to remind all the filthy peasants what the fuck is Kyoto Animation on about. There's so many Season 2s, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about anime of the year. We're talking about an anime that truly defines this year. Started at 2021 and finished at 2021. For me, there's only 2 that you could technically say that I would not laugh at your face for having a terrible opinion, but there's so much more that I want to just say. The first honorable mention, Kageki Shoujo. I have never been interested in theater. See, the main reason why I like Kageki Shoujo so much isn't because of theater. It's because of every single character in Kageki Shoujo. Everyone in there is just so magnificent. I've simped over Sarasa Watanabe so many times when that show came out, and rightfully so. Sarasa is just one of the greatest anime characters this year. Her dynamic with Narata Ai is just wonderful. It's a shame that the manga hasn't been translated at all, and the chances of this having a season 2 is little to none. But this was one hell of a watch. I didn't expect the show to be so emotionally taxing. Narata Ai's backstory is one. Ayako's deal with just trying to lose weight is another. You could tell that the show is a very in-depth analysis on theater. You could tell that the author knows what she's talking about when it comes to theater. And to just have an insight of what just like goes on, what's the hard work that it takes to be part of theater is just honestly amazing. Sonny Boy is incredible. The way the show is written, it's not based around logic, but based around emotion. If you try to make sense the countless worlds that Sonny Boy takes place in, I am pretty sure even Shingo Natsume doesn't know what the fuck is going on. But if you try to understand it in an emotional standpoint, deaths, immortality, non-aging, of the concept of time, this is one of the greatest shows to ever do that. This is the type of show that some fucking film major in NYU would like. The type of deep shit that they pretend to understand, but in reality they don't understand. That's Sonny Boy. What I really like about Sonny Boy is its characters. Mitsuho, Nagara, Nozomi, Azakaze, they're very much high schoolers. This robust, emotional, very easy to take advantage of, very simple-minded high schoolers. I find that perfect because if we would substitute any of these characters to a grown adult who knows what the fuck they're doing, who is just competent at literally everything, either this show would not be as interesting as it is, or it would just be a slice of life in a beach. I love teenagers in anime. I do. I love it when they act like teenagers in anime instead of just this genocidal maniac. And Sonny Boy is a show that has that and has such an amazing world surrounding these teenagers. Mieruko Chan is shockingly amazing. The concept of Mieruko Chan is very simple. There's a girl who sees ghosts and she tries her best to ignore those ghosts because she just doesn't want those ghosts to bother her. It's written at first to be sort of like a comedy. I find the ghost scaring the shit out of her adorable and genuinely hilarious, but Mieruko Chan has this incredible way to just make something haha look at her shitting her pants when a ghost is right there to somewhat emotional. And when I mean emotional, it could literally go to both specter in a sense of wow, that's a really sweet moment, to just like wow, that's a really scary as fuck moment. Mild spoilers. There's this one time where there's a huge scary ghost sitting behind Miko's dad, and Miko just looks terrified, right? This ghost is huge, covering his dad. At the same time, while this is all happening, the family's just hanging around talking about pudding and how his dad used to take Miko's pudding back when he was younger. Miko just decided to walk out. While she was tying her shoes, he was just like, you know what? Goes back and puts pudding on her dad's offering table in her house. It's a bit of a plot twist because Miko wasn't afraid that there was a huge ass beast in her house. She was more shocked that her dad was just there hanging out with family. Moments like that were unexpectedly sweet. Until now, we only seen Miko shitting her pants and trying to avoid ghosts. There are a little bit of hints that not all ghosts are bad and they just have some ill will that they want to solve before going to heaven. And there's another moment where Miko was just hanging around saying hi to a little kid, and that little kid ends up being a ghost and tries to attack her. I didn't do that story justice per se, but that was just another moment that was just amazing and genuinely terrifying. Now we get to the two shows that really define this year. Now, it's not gonna be Tokyo Revengers, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you wanna know why it's not, check out this video right here. I've explained why I fucking hate Tokyo Revengers. Odd Taxi is an incredible written show. I like the show not just because that it's one of the best viewed videos in my channel. No, it's not just that. It's written like it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. If you ever watch Quentin Tarantino movies, there's like a A story, a B story, maybe a C story that are just very distant and doesn't seem to fit with each other. But by the end of the story, by the end of the movie, in this case a TV show, they somehow just intersect into the main story and affect the main story in one way or another. Just imagine Pulp Fiction, but like surrounded from a walrus taxi driver and takes place in Tokyo. It's really good. I don't want to spoil it too much when it comes to the story, because I think what makes the story so fun in a way is just trying to find all these three storylines and somehow them again going into one story. It's brilliant. It's getting a movie adaptation sometime this year and I'm just so excited for that. But it's not the anime of the year. Crazy. So you might be asking, okay bro, it's been 8-9 minutes of the fucking video, just tell me what the fuck is anime of the year? There's nothing that defines this year like Mushoku Tensei. I'm pretty sure you just heard this from like literally everyone in the goddamn world who's done any review in Mushoku Tensei. But I'm gonna say it again because it's exactly how it's supposed to be said. It's an isekai done right. People say that this is like the godfather of isekai, and I don't understand what the fuck they mean, but everything Mushoku Tensei does is really good. Rudeus' growth from episode 1, season 1, when he's a little fucking baby, watching his parents fucking, to now himself fucking, the growth is amazing. It's like watching this kid slowly grow up. Growing up is something I should circle, bold, italicize, everything, because growth in this show is not just a time skip. Rudeus being friends with Sylphie, being tutored by Roxy, fucking the brains out of Eris, it's growth. You could see the growth of his harem. It's not just like one episode, oh, that's a girl in the marketplace. You want to join my party and just hang out in the forest for the rest of your life? It's not that. You understand why the harem exists. The world building is amazing. Sure, a demon world is not the most original idea of all time. You know, deserts exist, but the way they discover the world is, I think, very genius. Now, I don't understand why they teleported everywhere across the continent. I don't understand that yet because I don't read the light novel, but I feel like that's such an incredible opportunity to discover the world. Why would Rudeus go to the demon continent if he was not placed there in the first place? Why would you want to go to southern Sudan when you don't need to? That makes sense, and I feel like that's just a perfect excuse to discover the world and adventure. It's perfect. This show is literally written perfectly. It is the best isekai of all time. Fuck you, Konosuba, because it's technically not an isekai, let's just be honest. Fuck you, ReZero, you're somehow not the best isekai this year. Mushoku Tensei is the anime of the year.